Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Recently in War of the Visions, I made a video about the top launch UR units, and then in that video I picked 4 characters that were my best picks for like the reset marathon or the reroll. One character I mentioned but did not recommend was Gilgamesh here on the right. Gilgamesh is a very good character, but he's really hard to get because he has half the chance of appearing in the Hatcher, and then when his shards appear in the shop, they cost twice as much. So in practice, he's like a limited character, just in the standard pool. And I wasn't going to make a video of him originally, but I got a request to do it. And I think a lot of people are curious about him. Like, he's on the logo, for example. He's also like the most mysterious character, so I'll do the best review that I can of him. As you can see, he's only level 40, so I don't have all of his skills unlocked. And I actually haven't used him very much. Maybe the first like 2-3 weeks of playing the game, I would use a friend unit, and then often pick Gilgamesh, just because he was very strong at that time. But I haven't used a friend unit in a while, and so I have very little experience with using Gilgamesh. All of these other characters here, I've used them for like 3-4 months, but I'll do my best explaining how Gilgamesh works. But here are his stats at level 40, but I've seen him at level 89, where he has about 3,500 HP. That is insane. That's like Engelbert level. Attack of 700, that is also insane. That's almost Stern level. Magic 400, that's insane. That's like Mediana level. And then speed is really good too. It was like higher 60s or 70s, so he can attack very early and often. Movement is low, however. Move 3 and jump 1. So yeah, just stats-wise, he's pretty crazy. But let's look at his ability board. Unfortunately, I haven't unlocked all of this stuff, so I can't look at them easily through this screen, which I usually do. But we can just kind of, muddle our way through this and see how it is. But his main job is Winged One. And then, I don't remember where I saw this, but I think Gilgamesh is one of a few winged ones. They live in like some castle in the sky or some secret place or something, so we can probably expect more winged ones in the future, and then there'll probably also be like limited unit rates in the standard pool. So that should be interesting. But the 2 skills that he starts out with Haste, but this is for himself. And then for 3 turns, the rate at which his CT gauge will fill will be faster. So that's very, very good. This is one of the best self-buffs in the game. And then he also has this attack, which is kind of similar to like a samurai attack, Kotetsu. But as we can see, pretty good range and then very nice area of effect. And actually, if you don't fire it far away enough from himself, he will hit himself. So you want to be careful about how you use this. But it doesn't cost a lot. You can use it a fair amount of times per battle, and does pretty good damage. So yeah, already he's looking very good. Let's see, here is a passive ability, Auto Levitate. He's the only one in the game with this ability right now, and it comes from him being the only character in the game that can fly. But it gives him the Levitate status. That means that Earth-based attacks won't hit him, and then he can also like attack higher than his elevation would usually allow, and then also gives him jump +1, so nice support ability there. Here's another Winged One ability. Healing Aura, heals people around him, and it's a TP skill. That's pretty powerful. So while you're charging up your attack skills, you can use this heal to fill your gauge. That's pretty powerful. And then here, this is a nice support ability. You can raise the faith of another character. And then I think if you raise the level of this to 11 or higher, it'll be a permanent raise to that faith. So you can farm with Gilgamesh, and then have him cast faith on your magic users as you farm easy quests, and then raise their faith values that way. What else we got? Don't Move. This is a Time Mage skill. This will kind of lock enemies in place so they can't move. And here's Comet. This is a non-elemental magic spell. So yeah, you do want to raise his faith because he has a lot of magic damage that he can do. And what's this? This will drain MP from people. This is a levitate spell, so he can give the levitate ability to other teammates. That's pretty funny. And let's see, Hazard Form. This is the soldier self-buff that Stern also has. This will kind of lower his HP a little bit, but raise his attack a lot. And HP plus 15%, that's pretty good. We have some counterattacks, counter slow. Alright, let's look at the top class abilities. So Haste, he has the Time Mage sub-job, so he can speed up your other characters. One of the better spells in the game. This is a teleport. I said this in another video, but the teleport in this game is not as good as it is in Final Fantasy Tactics. It can't move as far, and it seems to have a higher failure rate. But in an emergency, you could use this just to get some extra movement out of the guy. And then here's another Winged One attack. This will break the attack, but you can also use it at range and multiple times per battle, so... Yeah, Gilgamesh is pretty good as an attacker. He has a lot of versatility and a lot of staying power as well. And then Stemi, this is the same as Stern, but you can lower his damage mitigation to really raise his attack. This too you would want to upgrade until you got to level 20, just to lower the loss of damage mitigation. Oh, and Quick. This is another one of the best spells in the game. You cast this on a teammate, and then they'll automatically act first the next turn. And Hazard Spin, this is another attack which will kind of drain their own HP and then do damage around the character. This is pretty strong. Hazard Slash, this is just a close range attack, but you can use it multiple times. Doesn't cost a lot and does pretty good damage. This is an Ice Blade attack, so it will do ice element damage. Again, at range with a pretty good area of effect. But again, you don't want to hit yourself. And then Grim Reaper, this is surprisingly usable. It's short range, but you can use it a few times per battle. And then Slow, that is a status effect ability on enemies. And then this is a self-buff where he creates a damage mitigation barrier around himself for 3 hits. That's kind of similar to Sentinel from Engelbert. And then here you can cast Paralyze on guys. And then last one is Excalibur. This is a crazy attack. I've seen this in person. What it is that it's like a instant teleport plus attack. So it's kind of like a ranged attack, but you end up moving towards or right next to your target. So it's very versatile and very powerful as both a movement ability and attack ability, and it does good damage. So yeah, you definitely want to get Gilgamesh up to level 79 so you can get access to this skill. But yeah, that is a brief look at Gilgamesh, what he can do. Oh, and I almost forgot to talk about his Trustmaster. His Trustmaster actually might be the worst thing about him. But about 400 HP for a piece of armor, that's decent. 8 defense, 8 spirit, that's also decent. And then the active ability is a self-buff. It will raise his magic value, and then also fill his CT gauge. That's okay. Nothing to write home about. But overall, I'm very excited about Gilgamesh. I can't wait until I can get him to level 79. Until I have the 240 shards that I need. I'm not going to touch him though, because that would be just wasted materials in the meantime. But I am taking some steps in order to get more shards of him. I won't buy him from the shop unless maybe there's some like discount and then he comes down to the regular price. If that does happen, I would buy those. I'm also not going to pull him from the hatcher, even if he's featured. But you can play the daily hard quests, and then in his case, you can only play him once per day. But you can spend 50 lapis to refresh and then get another play, and then get 2 shards per day. And then another way to get shards for him is through the Chocobo expeditions. And then if you set the area where you do your Chocobo expedition to the ice area, there's a chance you might get Gilgamesh shards. So let's collect right now. And let's see if there's Gilgamesh in here. No, okay. Oh, but I did get Bineta, because I'm also doing the expedition through the dark area. But yeah, it could be a good idea if you're really interested in using Gilgamesh to always have your Chocobo expeditions going through ice. That can really help you out. But yeah, that is a look at Gilgamesh. He is a really good character. It's just difficult to really get him up to speed. 79 is what I really recommend him at. But I look forward to using him, and I look forward to more winged ones in the future. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.